Hello, my name is Donovan Osio, and I'm the General Manager of the TDA Perks program. I would like to welcome you today to this installment of the Virtual Successful New Office Symposium. Today's interview will be with Jim Archer with Archer Dental and Ahmad Shams of TDA Perks Supplies. Jim is the CEO of Archer Dental and has been with Archer for over 30 years. Ahmad is the CEO of TDA Perks Supplies and has been with the company since it started. Archer Dental, along with TDA Perks Supplies, provides a range of services, equipment, and dental supply products for TDA members, including supplies for dental practice startups, purchases and acquisitions, and additional smaller equipment. Jim, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're looking forward to hearing what a TDA member needs from an equipment perspective when they're going to start or purchase a practice. So any information you can provide a member to get ready to start that practice would be great.
Thanks, Donovan. Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider. Obviously, you want to consider location. That's a no-brainer. But a lot of you don't consider, when you're going with a lot of these dental supply companies, just how much of a disadvantage you are compared to a lot of the group practice and things. And the TDA Perks helps you to meet those barriers because it allows you to buy equipment at far lower prices, much more like what a group practice would pay for the equipment. So that's one of the big benefits of being able to buy through TDA Perks and being a member of that. So I'll tell you a couple of pointers that everyone needs to know, especially when you're starting out. Be very careful about signing a contract with some of the big box companies. A lot of times they'll have you sign a contract even before they even draw you plans. And they lock you into very high priced equipment that you probably might not want in the end, but you're obligated because you signed this contract. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that call where they just can't get out of it. So I'd be very, very careful. Shop around first. Don't sign any contracts until you're sure of what equipment that you want. That's probably one of the biggest tips I can give anyone to starting a new practice is just don't fall for that because they're going to press you. They're going to pressure you to sign. They can't draw your plans. They're not going to help you negotiate a lease. They're not going to do this, this, and this, or even help you with financing sometimes until they sign you up and they lock you up. And then they make you buy $50,000 of equipment from them that you really didn't want and you could have bought quite a bit less someplace else. So that's really one of the number one things when you're starting a new practice. Watch out for that because that's a big, big deal and it happens all the time. Second is don't get oversold. Starting out a new practice, don't let them come into you and tell you that you need to, outfit 5-ops and buy the latest 40 digital milling machine. I can't tell you how many bankruptcies I've actually been called on banks to help on these situations where a new dentist has been oversold like $500,000 for a new office without a single patient. So, it's a terrible thing, but unfortunately it does happen and it's happened a lot more recently. So really think about the technology that you want to buy ahead of time and what really makes sense, but just don't get oversold. Starting out, you can always add rooms, you can always go forward, but just be careful being oversold. The high tech 3D milling and all of these things right out of the gate. You can always add it, but just don't get it right at the start. You probably won't need it for a couple of years anyway, especially if you're building from ground zero situation. So something else to remember. One of the things we're seeing too a lot now is with the COVID days, we're all having to plan for COVID mitigation equipment in dental office designs and planning. And we just don't know how long this is going to go. But regardless, this investment shouldn't be wasted. It shouldn't be something that you only use one time. If this comes back, even for dealing with patients that have other communicable diseases like the flu or tuberculosis or anything like that, a lot of this equipment is dual use. So it's not like you're only buying it for that, but you do want to leave enough room inside your office to be able to plan around that. And some of those devices that are really popular today are extraoral suction machines, which will vacuum up the aerosols so they don't spray all over the office. Very, very important machine to have. It actually kills the virus in the machine if you get the right one. UVC lighting that you may actually put in the ceilings of the new operatories that'll just give you that nice overnight total level of disinfection. So there's a lot of things to consider now too when going into this new COVID environment as well that you didn't have to think about a year ago. So all of it's important. Try and plan it all into the big picture, and you know, we're here to help. So we've got a lot of these devices, and they're really priced right. And any of this that you need help on, we're more than happy to help with a call. And we'd love to work with you. So, and we'd love to save you a lot of money. So Donovan, take it from there.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. So if you were to maybe put your top 3 items that you see in new practices where they get them, then they may not be ready for them, what would those items be?
And I won't see the brand name, but I will just say that the very high-end Crown milling machines is probably number 1. It's something that you don't necessarily ever need to start out with, especially if you don't have a patient base yet, or you're just starting out. That's something you really need to work into. I just see too many dentists get bogged down in payments and stress, and it's just something you don't need. Second would be a cone beam. If you're going to do implants, it is necessary, but you may not need the one that's $100,000. There's a lot of them that are very good that are, $50,000. So don't get sold into the whole, the cone beam has to integrate with the 4D milling machine and you can't do anything. Trust me, they'll integrate. They all export the same way. And I think that probably the third thing is just getting oversold a bigger practice than you need, and probably having to go with more chairs at the get-go and just completely outfitting the office for full speed. You can always start with 3 and go up to 5, but the main thing is just don't get oversold the whole 5, because I promise you some of those chairs are going to be catching dust for the first couple of years. It just is the way it is. So Donovan?
That's perfect. It's really helpful. And I think that a lot of folks probably find themselves in that situation where they're trying to figure out how to cut costs and make some savings before they get started, since they have no patients, especially if they're a de novo practice. So that's really helpful. Thanks a lot, Jim. We're going to shift over to Ahmad. He's the CEO of TDA Perk Supplies.
Thanks, Donovan. Yeah, TDAPerkSupplies.com is a website, e-commerce based dental supplies and equipment store. We sell 60,000 SKUs of dental supplies and equipment, everything that Archer Dental sells. We pre-negotiate pricing, so we guarantee it's the lowest possible pricing that you're going to find.
And so that's everything from lidocaine to composites, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, everything you can think of. We have quite a bit of depth. We have all the major brands you would buy from any large dental distributor, but we also work with dozens of direct manufacturers, both supplies and equipment, and so we have quite a bit.
Ahmad, if you could just kind of lead us through what a new practice would be going through, what their experience is like with not only Perk Supplies, but the kind of stuff that they're going to need to outfit their practice with.
Yeah, so we see different things depending on the practice owner. A lot of them have a lot of experience running practices previously or owning prior practices. Some we see are fresh and they don't really know what they need to get started. Luckily, we have quite a bit of experience with that. So really what we encourage, especially for new practice owners, is to contact our team. Let us know what your needs are, what information you have, if you have some other quotes available or whatever, and we can really help you out and get you started with what you need to get started. We'll set up your account. You can see everything that you need, and they can contact us by phone, by email, by online chat. But really, the key is TDAPerkSupplies.com. The site is accessible only to current active members of the Texas Dental Association. To access the site, you just go to it using your ADA number. All ADA numbers of TDA members are preloaded. You can log in and view basically our full product offering.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, thanks again for your time today. We really appreciate it. You can reach TDA Perk Supplies at 512-270-6999 and TDAPerkSupplies.com, and you can find all of those listings from Archer Dental Supplies on there as well. Again, you can reach us at the TDA Perks program at 512-443-3675. Thanks, and I hope to talk to you soon.